that's me, Tommy. I'm here, Turku, Hardcore Headquarters in Kovaa Rasvaa. Otto ja Johanna's home. We are now doing little interviews here, so stay tuned.
Yes.
Hi Otto, very nice that I can be here at your home, at your main cave here, down to see you records, and we have a very nice talk about Finnish hardcore scene of 90s and 80s stuff. But let's talk about a little bit you. What was the first record you bought?
I think the first record that I bought with my pocket money as a kid was the first Stray Cats LP. It's the one that I pulled out just a minute ago for you. Stray Cats.
Yes, that's classic one. That's also I had on cassette back in the day.
And the reason why I bought this one was that I had some friends, a bunch of friends, guys, who were either listening to heavy metal or rockabilly at the time in the early 80s, and I was pushed by the older Teddy boys that you should get the first LP by Stray Cats.
Okay.
That it's a good record, and I wasn't disappointed. I had heard a couple of songs of this. I remember at some of their plays, and it's good stuff. Anyways, I still like it. It's got some really
very good. It's very
songs.
good still.
Really like Rock This Town, Runaway Boys, good songs, and Storm the Embassy is really a classic track in my opinion. And I like this the setup on the back cover. How they have laid out stuff on the table.
Yes,
all kinds of
cool.
Articles, record pictures, cigarettes of course, grease for your hair, and stuff like that.
How long have you been collecting records?
I was always into records, vinyls,
Yes.
LPs. I thought it's a really cool format of listening to music, and I think I got into vinyls because my father he still has quite extensive jazz collection, like a lot of jazz LPs.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, I remember I was like, touching the records, and I remember my father was listening to records, and I guess that way I was encouraged to get into the world of vinyl. So it was obvious that when I started to develop some kind of taste for music, I started buying records. So I used all my pocket money. Instead of candy, I bought records.
What are the most important records for you?
There are many.
Many.
Very many, but well, first thing that usually comes to my mind is the first Napalm Death LP.
It's a classic.
It truly is a classic, and it totally changed my idea of hardcore and thrash and extreme music, and also it's really underground.
Yes.
That's a good point always with any band, if they're true to underground. And well, I tell you how I got the idea of buying these records. That was not, encouraged by somebody else, but I read of these records on Metal Forces magazine or fanzine.
Yes.
I was reading that because it came to me every month by mail from England, and I was reading articles, and in the late 80s, like 86, 87, they were exposing the British hardcore culture, like Napalm Death, Extreme Noise Terror, Concrete Socks, and bands like this.
Yes.
They were writing a lot of articles about that, and I was reading those articles, and I was thinking it sounds really like exciting. And at that time I was listening to metal, thrash metal and speed metal. But this band, Napalm Death, there was one page advertisement, and it said this debut album by the world's fastest band.
Yes. That's the point to get any album.
28 songs. 28, I was thinking. 28 songs of intense, manic, and savagely brutal hardcore thrash. It was like all the words that I was, looking for. All the words were crammed into one advertisement only, and I thought I must have that record.
Yes.
And the minute it came to my local record shop, I snatched it, and it's this copy, and this is a keeper. When I pass away someday, this can be burnt with my body, please.
Okay, okay. Yes. You were active in tape trading scene. Tell me what it was like.
The tape trading, well, I don't know what should I say about it. It was very important back in the day because we didn't have things like internet or actually no other means of distributing the music, underground music, than through tape trades or vinyl trades, which I also did. But tape trading was kind of more effective because you could cram many demo tapes or many 7 inches onto one tape. And if I send like every time, you say 4 90-minute cassettes full of stuff to somebody and I receive these 4 tapes again
Yes.
in trade, I get quickly a lot of music from all kinds of different places. And I was tape trading to a lot of countries. I was really hungry to learn more about the underground.
Yes.
And the idea I got from that Metal Forces magazine again, there was this one, like 1 or 2 pages every time, and there was advertisements from different countries. It was called Pen Bangers, the page, and there were like contacts. Somebody said, "Hi, I'm a thrash hardcore maniac from Malaysia. If you want to trade tapes with me, please write to," and there was his address.
Yes.
So I just, picked up some interesting places, some, weird places like, Latin America, Japan, and, Eastern Europe at that time was kind of exotic. And I just sent letters and I said, "Hi, I'm from Finland. You want to start trading with me?" And everybody was always, yes, yes. And that's how it started. And it got bigger and bigger. And that was like in the late 80s. And I did trading all the way into 90s. But I guess by the turn of millennia, it somehow faded. Maybe the technology came in.
Yes.
It was CDRs. Because then you started to make CDR copies. That changed in the beginning first, and then came the internet quickly, and tape trading somehow faded away. I don't think so many people do it anymore.
I'm not sure.
But
I
record.
don't know.
I have all the systems here. I can record a tape anytime somebody wants to. So I make copies every now and then.
Where did the interest in the punk music came from?
Well, punk music. I got into punk music because I was, after this brief stint into rockabilly, I got into heavy metal, and that was like my first serious passion, because I got into heavy metal because I got hooked by heavy metal. It was good music that I heard, and I wanted to hear more of it. I wanted to learn more of it. So for many years I was buying heavy metal records, and then in the mid 80s I got these records again from my local record shop, Kane Records, Celtic Frost, Voivod, Creator, Sodom,
All good bands.
Destruction, really good. Like the first wave of thrash metal, speed metal, even the beginnings of black metal by Celtic Frost and Bathory and stuff like that. And then I had this Metal Forces fanzine, and getting these together, there was a lot of exposure by crossover music. There was a lot of exposure from hardcore, so I was getting into hardcore, and bit by bit learning more about punk bands and punk ideology because of the hardcore bands. And I suppose like around 87 I got the Napalm Death LP, for example. It's obvious that that's a punk band by ideology, by definition, in my opinion. So by 87 I was listening to punk, I would say, and it was just a natural progression, not by any. I know I have some older friends who tell me, "Yeah, I heard Sex Pistols on the radio in the late 70s. I got into punk." I don't have a moment like that. It was just a progression with me.
Yes,
I was trying to learn about more fast and more chaotic, more raw, thrashier bands, and I just got into hardcore.
Yes, I think like many, first listening thrash metal and then going to the deeper and heavier stuff and ended to hardcore.
Yeah, at least
for me it was first hardcore, then thrash metal, and other stuff. But first was hardcore. Never actually the punk, directly to hardcore. What inspired you to start playing?
Well, it seemed exciting, and I guess I had a bunch of energy when I was a kid. And I wanted to do a band. I wanted to play together with some people, some friends. And the way to do it, the way to achieve it, was by getting an instrument. And since my friends they were playing guitar.
Yes.
And doing some music like that, the role of the drummer, that kind of fell on me. So I had no choice, but it's good.
What were your first bands?
First bands, I was, well, a couple of first bands that I played with were just like me on drums, and then one guy was playing guitar and singing, and they were like a grindcore, influenced by Napalm Death first LP and Extreme Rush Terror and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One band was called Frenetic Noise, and we recorded with this kind of cassette magnetophone tape recorder. We recorded one so-called demo tape that was at the time, and we were on some compilation tapes with that band. So I guess that's like first group. But after that, it's been many projects that I've been playing with. One of the earliest was also Turun Palo, which
Yes.
I just relocated the tape a while ago because I was asked of that in one interview. I can show you the tape. It's this one.
Okay, cool looking. Sulo Aittoniemi.
Yes, Sulo Aittoniemi.
Vitu näpärä.
Sulo vitu näpärä. Sulo fucking bastard. He was the this kind of a populistic right-wing
person, yes.
racist politician in Finland at the time. And noteworthy is the band logo. It's got the discharge font. It's funny because there was a discussion, I don't know, maybe a year ago, me and a couple of my friends were thinking who were the first bands to rip off the logo type of discharge. And we were thinking of bands, and but this is actually this is from 1990. So this is actually one of the first that I would now think of. Anyhow, this is one, and then was War System.
Yes.
And then that was also a short-living band in 1992. But I did start to play Forza Macabre. We formed Forza Macabre in 91, and also I joined Selfish in 1991.
Okay.
They had been playing a while before me, but since they needed a drummer, they asked if I can come. And well,
so you are still active with Forza Macabre?
Yes, these are still active. Selfish, Forza Macabre, and Kuolema and Kovaa Rasvaa.
Yes.
But especially now during this pandemic, it's been really quiet.
Yes. Okay. Hi Johanna.
Hello.
You are playing Kovaa Rasvaa. What instrument are you playing?
And the guitar.
Guitar. How was Kovaa Rasvaa established?
Well, I think it was formed. It kind of rose from the ashes of Katarina, which was our former band, a D-beat, like all-female D-beat band from Turku. So the three of us girls, we were kind of like thinking of starting a new band because obviously Katarina was then over, and then we were just trying to find somebody to play the drums, and we found a guy who was interested, and that is how it kind of started. So 2009.
Where did the name Kovaa Rasvaa came from?
Well, it was a kind of like a funny story because the three women in the band, we were all like interested in like health or being a little bit healthy, and we ate like vegetarian food, and the drummer was like the only guy, and he used to like have these meat feasts, and he would always like tell us about the how he would like make the food with the meat and like put a lot of eggs and everything that has a lot of like this saturated fat in it.
Yes.
So then we kind of started playing around with those words. Kovaa Rasvaa means saturated fat, but it also means like hard fat. So it's kind of like from those kind of playful discussions with our drum player at that time.
How would you describe the band's music?
Well, I think the perfect Kovaa Rasvaa song would be like around a minute long. Yes. And very fast and with how I would like to see it and how I would like to compose the songs is that they have a lot of like different for example like different parts to it, so not a lot of like repetition, but very different parts and maybe 7 parts in that 1 minute long song, and so very very fast and a lot of changing and changes.
Yes, that's truly the really fast songs.
Yeah.
And 1 minute, that's optimum.
Yeah.
Optimal length
Yes,
for
yeah.
hardcore song.
Yeah.
What the lyrics of Kovaa Rasvaa songs tell about?
Well, I don't think we have like a theme that we visit often, but I think the songs are more like these snapshots of our everyday life. So we kind of focus on something, we see something on the street or we read about something, and then that kind of starts resonating with us, and then we kind of take it out of that context and put it in a new context and then give a new meaning to that kind of like thought that we had or something that we saw, something that we read. So it is very like personal, but also very political in a way. So
Yeah.
many times like the things that we focus on, they are about politics in a way. So that then just translates into what is like meaningful for us.
Tell me about your new record, Tasaluvulla tulevaisuuteen, that was released this summer.
Special version.
Oh yeah.
Test pressing.
Yeah.
Okay, test pressing. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that I composed all the songs during the pandemic. So we were having this break from touring or gigging. So that gave us a lot of time, more like spare time to kind of make new music and also to rehearse new music. Because we had been very busy before the pandemic. We were always touring or just trying to keep the set, try to rehearse so that we can go to the next gig, and we didn't have any time to create new music. So in a way the pandemic kind of slowed everything down and gave us more time to do new music. So that was really good.
Okay. Why there's both A and B sides are same?
Because those 7 songs that are on the record, they are the only ones that we came up, so we can't really feel when we have only like 7 very short songs, we can only feel one side of a like LP. So that's why we always put the same stuff on the other side. So in a way you get like 2 records for a price of 1.
Yeah, it was same here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
No, this is the previous one.
Yeah.
It's also got 2 for the price of 1.
Yes.
Same songs on both sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't noticed that one.
Yeah. So if one side is like
because there's no chorus in your songs.
True.
So there's no parts where you can sing
exactly. No
with
repetition.
the band.
But did I understand that you have this?
Yes.
Okay, and you have listened to it, but you didn't notice that.
Yes. No.
That's great. I have heard that before, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I have heard people say that before. That they
I'm so dumb. So.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's totally
totally 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Actually, that's quite fine because you don't have to change the side between the songs. So.
Yeah.
It's good. And if you got some scratches in other side, you can still listening.
Yep.
One side.
you have toured abroad in which countries?
Well, we have been to Russia twice, I think, and then many times in Sweden and the other neighboring countries like Denmark or Norway. We've been to Central Europe in like few places there.
Poland, Czech.
Yeah, Eastern Europe, of course.
Germany.
Yeah.
Slovakia. Slovenia.
Yeah.
Croatia.
Yep.
Austria.
Yes.
That.
Yeah. Yes. And then, of course, we've been to the UK and the USA, like West Coast, and also 2 times in Brazil.
What kind of reception has been for Finnish-speaking hardcore?
Well, it has always been very, very good, amazing. Yeah, people are really into Finnish hardcore.
Yes, that's because it's the best hardcore in the world.
Maybe.
Yes, not maybe, it is.
It is, okay.
Yes. What are your expectations when the gig starts again after this pandemic?
Oh, I truly hope that we can start touring again. It has been very, very like dull period of time in a way. And yeah, I hope that we can go like at least very quickly to Sweden and Denmark, which are the favorite places for us. And we have a lot of friends there and we really miss them. And it would also be really, really amazing to go to Brazil again because we have a lot of friends there as well. And also I would love to go to the Mediterranean countries like Spain and Portugal, Italy, Greece. Yeah, so those are, hopefully we get to do those places very soon.
Yeah, the Greece is probably gonna happen quite easily since it was already booked, but we had to cancel it because the pandemic started.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. We cancelled quite many gigs and tours.
Yes, there was lots of stuff lined up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think my expectation is, I would hope that everything would be just like before,
or even better.
Yes, let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope so.
Of course, it's impossible to ignore the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Last year and a half because of the pandemic. It's sad but true. It happened. But I hope the punk scene and hardcore underground would be able to continue from where we left at the beginning of the pandemic.
And Kovaa Rasvaa is also, we're trying to be a little bit more mindful of the climate change. So we try to avoid a lot of flying. Obviously, we can't avoid it if we want to go, to like on the other side of the ocean. But at least we try to take the train, like for example to Denmark or to Sweden or even Central Europe. We can do it by train. So
in Europe it's easy.
Yeah, so it's going to be a slow way of moving, but
but it's possible. We have been already checking out some timetables, schedules, and prices, and
yes,
it's feasible.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thank you for this interview, and I hope to see you guys in the gig sometime soon. I really like to go to the pit again.
Yes,
welcome.
Definitely. See you there.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the interview, Otto and Johanna. And if you are interested of this kind of hardcore, Finnish hardcore stuff, you are in right channel. Please subscribe and leave comments for me. Cheers, bye, and stay punk.